This episode felt like a very rushed Green Death. It felt like it could have went down the angle of talking about the exploitation of the environmental damage that the corporate businesses were doing. It had that very briefly, but had absolutely no repercussions towards this.
I thought it was a bit more of a alright episode than anything particularly spectacular. I don't know what you thought of it.
Yeah, I thought it was very average this time, like pretty forgettable.
Before the episode, I kind of thought there was going to be something related to Planet of the Spiders, but no, it was just average everyday spiders that have grown in size, and that's kind of coming from someone who's arachnophobic. I mean, if that happened to me in real life, I'd probably have a heart attack.
I thought it was a bit average this week. I enjoyed a lot of parts, like the beginning where the Doctor finally gets them home and meets Yaz's family. I thought that was a really lovely bit.
It wasn't as good as... It's probably the least favourite episode. However, it was pretty good though.
I liked it again. I mean, I'm just, the main thing is I'm just really excited about this whole series. What do you call it? Basically, that's kind of like, you know, middle of the road, fun, but not really going to be my top 20 kind of episode 4 kind of meh.
Scary. And I mean, really scary.
I didn't think it was that scary. I thought it was more like... I haven't the right word to express the feeling I felt, but it was sadness for the spiders.
I thought it was absolutely grand. I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a kind of romp. I mean, it's the first kind of proper monster story we've had this season.
It happened at Halloween as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I loved the Spire episode. I thought it was very interesting. Particularly like the guest cast performances. Yasmin's mum and Chris Noth as the president candidate really sort of, I wouldn't say stole the show, but they sort of brought an extra oomph to it. There was quite a lot of very snide and devilish comments from him, and I felt it was quite good to have a sort of, not quite Trump-esque character, but sort of a warning for like that type of person.
The Trump-styled figure, which was a bit squandered by having Trump existing in this universe, kind of lessened the impact of this character.
Jack Robertson, he was an interesting character, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was a very, I don't know.
Is that the guy with the grey hair?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I didn't like the fact they included politics. I thought that was a bit too much for the episode.
He's probably the bigger monster in the story than the poor spiders. I mean, because I thought that was quite sad. The poor mother spider at the end, you know, suffocating and dying, and she was terrified, and that was really quite sad.
And then he becomes a dick by shooting her.
Yeah, it's a total. But he's the big, but I get the sneaking suspicion that he might be back at some point.
Who knows? He wasn't killed off, so he might show up in a future episode. I mean,
please no.
I mean, remember?
Please no.
I mean, remember when John Sim was the Master and he turns up as the Prime Minister in the next episodes? Yeah. Who knows? They might do the same thing, having the president here. I don't know.
Are you saying he's the Master?
I quite liked finally getting quite a bit of development for Yasmin. I felt like she's been a little bit underappreciated, and that we're starting to delve more into her family and more into her and her as a person. It's a bit more interesting, I think you'd say, you know.
I like how we're finding out more about Yasmin, because we've not learned a lot about her yet, so hopefully we get to know more about her.
Yasmin's was a better character this week, I think, because we actually got her to do something for
That's
once.
true, and it kind of fleshed out her background a wee bit as well. So we met her parents and her sister that she was about as well.
Yeah.
And it was really, I thought it was pretty cool.
Graham was outstanding. He's by far fast becoming my favourite. He just gravitated in the middle of the whole thing, and I hope that he gets more of a chance to have a few different moments coming up in the future.
Because, like, how would you deal with your emotions if you actually saw that? It'd be like,
Yeah, but you'd at least talk to someone. They just keep brushing it aside.
yeah.
We need to talk about it. We need to sit down and say, look, we need to talk about this. Because every other episode they've just said, Graham's the one that keeps trying to talk about it, but Ryan's just like, I don't really want to talk about it, but they need to talk about it at some point because he did die.
The moments of grace I felt are very strong in developing the impact that just one character could have, even though they're only in it for one episode. The underlining sort of effect of that is a really good, strong element of it, and the realism that we've not had for years.
That was really poignant, the smelling of the clothes and things like that. And he was quite right to say that he could sit and mope about and grieve in a house, or he can go off and do things, and that's probably an opportunity that most people who grieve will never have in their entire lives. Yeah. So go off and do it.
The vortex in the episode was beautiful. The way it just swoops past and all the multicolors, and the way it just kind of jumps from one vortex to a bunch of other vortexes and goes through one. But it was shot beautifully.
There's a scene when you see the TARDIS flying in the vortex, and it's a really good vortex and stuff. The effects in that scene's really good.
I love the vortex. I really want to see more of the vortex because it's just so wonderfully and madly chaotic. It's something that I think we've kind of been missing for a long time. I can't remember the last time we had like just such a whirlwind like time vortex, because the last couple have all been very controlled, and it's felt like the Doctor has had it all mapped out and been able to go everywhere, particularly with Matt Smith's vortexes. It sort of just felt like it was on the rails, whereas now it feels like it's a complete roller coaster, mad adventure ride, and I think it matches with the title sequence quite well.
Yeah, it does, like the chaos of it all, yeah.
Next week's episode I'm not really looking forward to. It's a bit vague, but I hope they still retain this sort of deep sort of character development that they've been working on.
I liked the episode. It didn't rock the world, but you know what? I definitely feel like I'm in the new era of Doctor Who, and I don't know what to expect next week, and I'm looking forward to getting them all. And that TARDIS team were standing in the TARDIS at the end, and I just thought, this is brilliant. Here we are, a new era, slowly getting to know people over the course of a couple of weeks to eventually get to a new place where it feels completely new again, and I'm interested again. So thank you for that new era. It's a new era Doctor Who, and I'm excited. Cheers everybody. Goodbye from Heathrow.